Flight Boss, bitch, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon. Flight Boss is really the Archangel Uriel, and I'm really here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And I don't think they're gonna get it. But it's because everybody lost. Now, what is being lost? Now, I'm just gonna break it down for you. See, I come from the essence. I talk about where shit actually is. So, where the location and space of that idea came from before the illusion. So I'm going to kick it so you can understand it. So what is being lost? We know you could be physically lost, directions, you don't know where you at lost. That's externally. Now let's go internally. You know for a fact when you lost, say you're trying to pay attention to something and you can't pay attention to it. Why is that? 9 times out of 10 because you're in thought. And when you're in thought, you're pondering over a memory. And a memory came from an experience. And an experience is always tied to the past. So you're in the past in some type of way, shape or form with your spirit and soul when you're lost. You ever had that situation where you was just chilling and you went into a memory or an experience that a person, place, or thing brought upon you and somebody tapped you and you was like, oh snap. You know what I'm saying? You came to be, it was like, oh, I was just in thought. Or sometimes you can't even help but use the words, oh man, I was lost for a second. Now tell me I'm lying. See, I'm coming genuinely from the spirit. I'm not using y'all languages and words and shit. I'm just trying to tell you the root of things before we get into what's lost. And then you're gonna and then you're gonna be able to sit back and be like, damn, I'm consciously aware of how lost I am. You see what I'm saying? I gotta baby feed y'all. I need y'all to understand it don't matter how old you is, how young you is. When you come from the spirit, then you can understand everything. You know what I'm saying? And you don't need those external things to understand the spirit. And this is where people get lost. See what I'm saying? So look, when you lost, that's just a Pacific energy of being lost. When you in thought, in a memory, into experience, into a past. So you agree with me, right? That's being lost. You even use that word, I was lost, right? You agree, right? Now let's take it a step further. Humanity do this physically because they keep clinging to past things in order to understand the present. So in some way, shape, or form, it's carrying out the energy of being lost. I don't care what you say. So if you're a religious person, what religion that you clinging on to? It was a religion of what? The past. Because what? It was brought here before you, right? Now, if you a spiritual person and you into a bunch of spiritual type of things, but how did you cling to it? You cling to it from what? You learn from it from what? The past. You see what I'm saying? And I need y'all to understand that the further the past you go, the dumber it was. But, and it's a yin and yang to everything, it's still the smarter it was. See, this is what you have to understand. You have to understand how to come into everything with a baby mind. You have to come into everything with a baby mind, right? And experience everything as if it's your first time experiencing it. Because here's the thing. Everything has truth in it. But there's lies in all truth. But there's no lie. You can find a lie in all hold on, wait, I'm saying that wrong. There's truth in all lies. But there's no lie in the truth. So a person, you could witness a person lying to you and they slip up and tell the truth. But if a person is telling the truth, you can't find no lie in that. Right? So when you come at everything with a baby mind, right, you're able to understand it genuinely, right, from a baby mind. So it's not, for an example, it's not till you start learning stuff, because it's all about perspectives. For an example, if someone say, here, you need to read the Bible, you already now got preconceptions and pre-understanding to why you need to read the Bible. See, so you're already going into it with other perceptions. You need to just pick it up like you never heard about it before or anything of that nature, and then read it. And then that you're coming from it just like when you was a baby and you ain't know nothing and you had to learn through experience for yourself. It's the same way you have to do that. So when you do learn knowledge and learn things, when you see it from a baby mind, but it's not really seeing it from a baby mind, it's really you're seeing it from a new perspective. But the perspective you're seeing it from ain't really new. You're just seeing the actual perspective of whatever you're trying to see. So for an example, say you went to school and you learned about what "and" mean. You know "and" mean going in something. And you know "and" mean, and then when you go in school, you learn about the ending, the END. So you can equate it. Okay, going in, going in something, something always has an end to it, right? So now it's like a baby mind. So when you take out all of why a person gave you that Bible and what you thought to believe what the Bible was, you're going into it with a baby mind now. So all the information that you learned, you're able to perceive it from a new perspective, but it's really not a new perspective. It's really the original perspective. So when you look at the Bible and you see something that say "in the beginning," you look at it now like, okay, oh, it's saying "in." So that means it's in something, right? So in the beginning. So the beginning was in something. So what was the beginning in? You know what I'm saying? Then you start to understand that, oh, it's in a body. See, but a religious person to get a Bible because what they learned, what they was taught. They grew up in Sunday school. They grew up in other shit. So when they get it, now it's like, oh, in the beginning, oh, so this means the beginning of the life or the beginning of the world. No, it just means in. So the beginning of whatever this beginning was is in something. So we know we can look at examples right now in front of us that something could be out of something. We see something coming out of an egg every day. We see something coming out of a ground every day. We see a baby coming out of a mother every day. So we know it's a without. So we using common sense, but looking at it from a baby mind, we see the actual perception of it. So when you come at it like this, a religious person can't get mad at you. They can only get mad at their own mind with their own thoughts. You see what I'm saying? Because when you understand the spirit, you understand what something actually is. So now you're looking at it, you're saying, okay, in the beginning. So the beginning was in something. And then it's saying there was this, there was a void of darkness. So in the beginning was in darkness. So whatever started creating shit was in this darkness. So when you want to create religion, all gods was equivalated to the sun. See, look, and y'all keep clinging to the past, right? And you have to look at it. All the past civilizations was evolving. Why y'all stopping now? Why was it so many changes then? Why was it so many changes every 2,000 years? Why when it comes to now is no change? You see what I'm saying? You gotta really think about things. Really think about things. If my name Dolo the Pilot Man now, I don't care what language or what existence, they're gonna call me Dolo the Pilot Man. You're not gonna get somebody 4,000 or 6,000 years later translating my name. It's going to say Dolo the Pilot Man in Spanish. It's going to say Dolo the Pilot Man in English. Like, all right, for an example, you want to say bitch, right? You say bitch in English. If you want to say bitch in Spanish, it may sound different, or whatever language, it may sound different, but it's still going to mean the same thing, right? It's still going to mean the same thing. So why, for some reason, that you got a bunch of names that's translated to mean different shit? It's like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what's going on here? You got to really think about things. And every civilization been changing, except now. It's like this is a stagnated civilization. They clinging on to all what the other civilizations was on. The other civilizations wasn't clinging on to the past. You got this old civilization, Hindu. Boom. That was up. They switched it up. You got pantheism, whatever. Boom. They switched that up. Paganism. Boom. They switched that up. You got Christianity. Boom. They switched that up. Every civilization was switching until now. Now you got this a civilization trying to accommodate all these. When really all these was describing the same thing, it's just man had their own interpretation of it. But once you understand the spirit, you'll understand what man was trying to come up with. And then you will understand that man was always stupid. So it's stupid to go to the past because you go into a dumb man. You go into a dumb woman. When you're smart because your spirit is inhabiting a vessel in the present now. So this means you're in the civilization and you're consciously aware of all the energy frequencies that's supposed to make you smart now. But you're taking all that and equating it to the past. It's like You're taking old lights and trying to accumulate it with the light we up under now, and it's not agreeable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here to help everybody. You know what? I'm finna go to war on everybody's oversoul. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to war on everybody's oversoul so everybody can get a clear understanding. And sometimes you have to go to war. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand, like, Leos. Let's look at the sign Leo. The sign Leo. The sign Leo is ruled by the sun. So Leos have the innate awareness. They're given the benefits of the innate awareness of how the sun run things. So let's look at some Leo. Let's look at some Leo musicians. Let's look at Lil B. He calls himself the bass guy. He got songs like "I Look Like Jesus." The reason why I make impact is because he's not lying. We all look like the sun. We all are gods. So it strike a nerve because it's truth, but it kind of blurs the illusion and the light that in all the different ways that the sun tried to come. But the sun made that prosper. It made that energy prosper because that the sun like that. You see what I'm saying? You get it? Anytime something is doing something that the sun consciously like to do, it receives the benefit and the energetic force to be able to do that here, regardless of the people, illusions, and light that they put around it and how they look at it. This is what you have to understand once you into the spirit. Look at little Uzi Vert. He's a Leo. He's carrying a lot of the Lucifer energy. Lucifer, the morning star. That's the sun. This is just the sun coming down, playing in many different shapes and forms, right? And the shapes and forms it likes to play is going to make sure that that's seen. That's getting paid attention to. You see what I'm saying? You look at Brother Polite, everything he does and how he thinks. That's the sun consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So, look at Young Dolph. He take the things that happen to him. He take the look at and try to gain attention from it. Look at it doesn't matter the energy of it, long as that energy can be taken and put in a positive. And when we say positive, when we say positive, there's a yin and yang to everything. Positive ain't necessarily good. Same way negative ain't necessarily right. And it can go and vice versa. I mean, ain't necessarily wrong or right. So when you look at Young Thug, he's a Leo. He take the things that y'all are consciously aware of and gain attention from it. So look at the sun. This is the sun mind. The sun take with it the illusion and light that it created and made you consciously aware of. It takes the things that you can see and get attention from it. It's the center of attention from it. Right? That's what the sun just does. The sun wants y'all to praise it for what it created for y'all. But it puts you in a circumstance and situation for you to do that. So it is a devil. It is a Satan. But it is a God. And that is the heavens. This is why you say, man, I'm high as hell. Why do you say that? Because hell is on top. Fire is on top. Water is on the bottom. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to heaven, you're going into the fireball. You're going to amidst in the forever light. But if you go to hell, you're going to the same place. You see, Christians, you're going to the same place. But it's just your perception of it. Your Bible is trying to tell you that, but your realm of reality and illusion of it is fucked up. Your Bible is telling you that it's your perception. So if you want to live and experience going through harsh experiences in hell all the time and you're not baptizing and cleansing yourself from those experiences and you keep going through those experiences, then when you go up into the sun, which y'all call heaven, you go in there to burn. But really, you're just going there to experience that same experience over and over again. But but it's the same thing with y'all heaven. You going up into the heavens to go into the emitting light, but really, is this what you choose to experience? If you choose to experience heaven and prosperity and being good-hearted and cleansing your soul all the time, then when you go up into that fireball, the light is going to be based upon your perception. Oh, this is a harmonious light. This is a good light. So, what? I don't understand why y'all confused and try to look at me like I'm confused. You see what I'm saying? It hurts me, and I come and make videos like this and not just astrology videos because I'm living life. I have to talk to people's mothers. I'm talking to my mother. I'm talking to other people's mothers. I'm talking to other people's aunts. I'm talking to other people's uncles. I'm understanding the vibration of how a person could. I'm talking to preachers. I'm talking to all kind of people. I understand how the vibration could be looked down upon you, where you really kicking spiritual truth, but you know the shoes you in is going to be seen to others as something new and far out. So it's like you have to battle so many demons and so many other spirits before you can even reach a person's soul. But then when you actually get into these battles, you start to realize that you will never be able to do that. And it makes you realize how lost people is, because there's no genuine way to actually reach a person's spirit. And then when you get spiritually inclined like me, you start to understand that the root causes of these things is language, is perceptions. So how do you fight a person with that? How do you fight a person without even speaking their language? And I'm talking to all y'all languages. How do you fight a spirit without even playing their game? Without even making yourself a part of their system? Without even making yourself a part of that understanding? This is fucked up, man. I'm about to get on a motherfucking rampage. And we're going to take all this knowledge and we're going to accumulate this with astrology. And everybody going to be able to understand how astrology is based on the body. And we all going to be able to understand where we came from and really understand God and gods and lords and really understand them for what they are. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn, man.